Hey people, true story. This just happened. I've been having a bad day, a really bad day. A day where you feel like I've screwed up, a day where people are attacking you and just like, it's too much. The monsters, there's too many of them. So I decided to go to my happy place. I decided to go down the street and go to a movie and get a Diet Coke and an ice cream and just for 2 hours, just suspend belief. Okay? It's all happening. And then, of course, there is this giant crash from behind and two women are screaming. And it turns out that a gentleman had come out of the movie theater, had fallen through the barricades, through a door that had glass on it. The glass had smashed, he'd spun around, and he cracked his head on the ground, and here he was, unconscious. Exciting, I thought to myself. You, sir, hold the Diet Coke. You, ma'am, hold my ice cream. I got to work. Airway, breathing, circulation. But first, scene safety. Check the C-spine. The patient's unconscious. I'm like, do I have to start CPR? Then he starts to wake up some more, and then he wakes up some more, and then he starts to talk. Immediately, not a great diagnostician, but I say, sir, have you been drinking? You stink of alcohol. And of course, he had. And it turns out the more he woke up and the more we talked, it turns out that he'd come into a substantial amount of money today, a couple of $1,000s, and went to the liquor store to buy himself a delicious treat and go to a movie, much like me. And that he'd actually been discharged from the army on a Section 8, all of this coming very quickly. He had a seizure disorder, he had an alcohol disease-related disorder, and he was actually a super nice guy. And as 911 was called and we were chatting and I'm checking his pulse, which initially was pretty bradycardic, but now had come up nicely, I thought to myself, this is exactly one of those stories that I talk about in the book. And it's not about how bad I did sort of the resuscitation, because again, you could go through and like, you made a few mistakes in that resus. Not that I did very much, thank you very much. It was a minor trauma and there wasn't much to do. But it was more about the fact that what this man represented was me. Just one further step down the line than I could be. These people that we see in the emergency department, that we see all around us now, unfortunately, on the streets, are just us, but maybe just a little bit more damaged. I could actually see myself in this person growing up. One more little bit of abuse, one less social support, and that would be me. And so I have a lot of compassion for this man, a lot of compassion for people like that. So when I see people on the street who are suffering terribly from mental disorders, from alcohol and drug disorders, I think, but for the grace of God, that could be me. And then the worst part of the story, of course, is the movie theater is pretty empty. But about halfway through, I realize it really smells like urine in here. And then I realize it's me that smells of urine, and it's not mine. That's why I'm clean right now. I just put my clothes in the wash and had a shower. I did stay to the end of the movie though, because come on, I paid $15. What are you going to do?